Let's just say you're socially anxious. All right, let's look into when you're usually socially anxious. So, for example, when you go into a party, your heart starts beating like crazy, right? Basically, you're confronting the chaos of dragons and you don't know exactly what to do because you're in a position where there's so many people and you just feel socially awkward to even conversate with people. You don't know how to start up conversations. You don't know what to say because there's so many people, right? So of course you're afraid to get judged, and that leads to, killing your sexual attraction and much more. And of course you start to hunch over, which shows low dominance. Imagine that. Just because you're not practicing improving your social skills, you're not practicing overcoming social anxiety. Here's another example. I would have trouble speaking to cashiers, speaking to people, going outside, and just seeing someone 3 to 4 years ago because I was in a depressed state. And I was extremely sad about that. I didn't know how to overcome it. But then when I started to overcome these challenges by improving myself, by just getting into the gym, meditating, working on my mental health, working on my health, working on improving my knowledge, my wisdom, and much more, right? Because once you start to improve your self-image, you start to believe that you could achieve anything. And that's where a lot of people need to focus on. They need to understand that whenever they're in a social setting and they're socially anxious, it's because there's so many people and you feel like you're getting judged. But that shouldn't be the case. You should focus on talking to someone one-on-one. Even if it's difficult, you got to remember, treat someone like your friend. And even if it doesn't go smooth, you got to understand that this is just experience. And it'll be amazing to tell this story in the future, because whenever someone asks you, oh, what kind of stories do you have? What kind of cool experiences do you have? Of course, you're not going to have anything if you're very socially anxious, if you're socially unconfident in social settings, I meant to say. Right? If you're very unconfident in social settings, then of course you're not going to have any stories. See, for me specifically, I'm going to be dedicating going outside once a week, at least once a week, on adventures, right? I personally want to go to cafes and speak to people. I personally want to go to new spots, nature spots, hiking spots, whatever the case is, something that interests me. I'm going to go there and talk to someone because that's going to give me leverage in the future. That's going to help me to improve my social skills. That's going to help me to become more confident in speaking. And that's what a lot of people need to do, all right? See, whenever you're in social settings, I want you to speak to someone one-on-one. And even if there's a group of people, pretend you're just speaking to one person, and eventually you can just look around. But just speak to one person, look them straight into the eyes, and even if you mess up, that's all right? Personally, like I said, I had trouble speaking to cashiers. I had troubles going outside and seeing someone because that would give me panic attacks. Literally, back then, I would get panic attacks by seeing people. I would get panic attacks by speaking to people. It's because of my self-image. It's because I was in a depressed state. It was because I didn't know any better that, hey, if I just start improving my social skills, if I start improving my self-image, everything will get better. So the moral of the story here is just put yourself out there, experience as much as you can, and live life to the fullest because, man, there's no point of regretting not doing that one thing you wanted to do. Even if it's talking to that cute girl you saw on the street, even if you saw someone amazing that you wanted to talk to in a networking event, even if you saw someone extremely jacked at the gym, just go speak to them. Have fun with it. Don't be scared because you only live once, all right? Just remember to take it easy and everything will be fine.